you everybody for tuning back in once again for another episode of Logic View. Today is Tuesday, March 25th. Hope everybody having a good day. It is a lot going on today. I'm going to try to get through it short and sweet within an hour. Just to let y'all know, man, I could easily go for 3-4 hours every day, dang near, because there's so much going on, so much to talk about. But I try to keep it under an hour. And today we're going to be talking about all about Michigan. Lots of things going on. Lots of things going on. I don't know if y'all seen this article yet. Let me share this. Article that just came out from Gateway Pundit. Stunning discovery made in Michigan. Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson used altered voter rolls. Over 35,000 voter histories have reportedly been erased in violation of Michigan law. This was just put out yesterday. And shout out to Tim Better and Bonnie from Check My Vote and Deep data evaluation of election processes. But they've been working hard, meddling kids out here, definitely holding people accountable and doing their best to expose corruption. This article goes on to say Michigan data analyst expert Tim Vetter of Deep has been uncovering the lawful manipulation of Michigan voter rolls. Yeah. Has been uncovering the unlawful manipulation of Michigan voter rolls since the 2020 election. Vetter, a highly regarded data analyst and manufacturing equipment engineer, has dedicated hundreds, if not thousands of hours to scouring Michigan's voter rolls, looking for clues to help better understand why they are such a disaster. He is the true definition of a meddling kid. On Friday, Mr. Vetter called to inform me that he had discovered that Michigan Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson's Board of Elections has failed to report 35,000 voter history records from two separate 2024 special elections in Michigan. Now, if y'all should remember those from last January, Gretchen called for the special election in two districts, and she called pretty quickly. She called those special elections pretty quick because they were in Democrat districts, Democrat-held districts, where the two Democrat reps went off to be mayors, and then they were replaced by two more Democrat reps. All looks fine and dandy on the surface, but if you look into the details, they say the devil is in the details. If you look in the details, you can see that it's not all what it's cracked up to be. And that's exactly what Tim Vetter has been doing, scrutinizing and digging deeply into these voter rolls. And he is quoted saying this. Vetter told us the altered voter rolls at the state level are nothing new. We have never reviewed an accurate list of voters in the vote history data from Jocelyn Benson's Board of Elections, Vetter said, adding they could fix this today if they wanted. All they have to do is publish an accurate list of voters after county certification and lock down their voter history records. So Tim is saying how he's been digging so much he understands what's going on and how it can be corrected. But this is the letter from Sarah McMillan, Board of Elections. This is from the FOIA request. And somebody wrote saying, I am just seeing some strange info in these files. I am just curious why my voting history in a file I looked at showed that I voted in Homer Township in every election since 2010. That is not correct. And then the reply said the voting history file just shows your current jurisdiction. somebody confirmed this shocking fact, and the question was asked, so the history does not show the jurisdiction of where I actually voted in prior years? And the response from Sarah was, no, it will just show the voter's current jurisdiction and then the date of the election that they voted in. And they are saying that this is data manipulation by the SOS, and it is. What's up, my G baby? You want to say hi? Say hi, Myra. I used to have Amari on here when he was small. Now my grandbaby on here. Amari getting all big. But yeah. So y'all can check this article out at thegatewaypundit.com. And I also have love you too, son. Also have Tim Vedder's Rumble page on here with videos and evidence he's been putting out. Play a little bit of this.
Stay tuned. Here we have the special election just last year, the January special primary. All 15,480 vote history records are gone from the data from the Bureau of Elections. That's just simply a fact, people. Same thing with the April special election. 19,522 gone. It's in the local data. It's not in the data from the state. That's simply a fact. So this data from the state is altered. It's erased, meaning it's not there. It just needs to be, I have no idea why it's not there. It needs to be investigated. That's what investigations are all about. Why are two special elections completely missing from the voter rolls when you're supposed to maintain it for 5 years? Here's what an individual voter looks like. So an individual voter, the data was in there in November 1st. And then when you look at the very next month, December, these voter records for the special election are missing from this individual's. I mean, we took off the voter ID, but it's gone. This is what it looks like, people.
So yeah, that's a 15-minute video. Just wanted to show some of what he's exposing. He's doing a great job putting it down so anybody can understand. And again, shout out to Deep and Check the Vote, Michigan Fair Elections. They doing great work. They doing great work. Pat Colbeck, y'all know Pat Colbeck doing his thing. He got a post highlights and Michigan meddling kids led by database aficionado Tim Vedder has confirmed that Jocelyn Benson appears to be keeping two sets of qualified voter files. One for the public to see via FOIA request and another for internal use only. Now, the Michigan state law says this is a direct violation of the law, and voter files aren't supposed to be tampered with, and they're supposed to be kept for 5 years. Jocelyn has some nerve running for governor after she's been sued so many times, and as she continues to violate the law. So, craziness going on there. Oh yeah, this is good. Pat Colbeck highlighting congratulations to Livingston County Clerk Elizabeth Hundy. Michigan Fair Elections has awarded her the first Sunlight Award for sharing election data with the voting public. This data belongs to the people. And I had, oh yeah, here it go right here. Got some footage of them giving her an award. Let me bring that up.
Just give give a little bit of background. The Michigan Fair Elections Institute has recognized our county clerk as one of the best, and it doesn't surprise me at all, because I've worked with Betsy for 6 years and know that she does a great job on behalf of the county. She is very diligent, very transparent, and it's been an honor to work with her. And with that being said, let me introduce Patrice Johnson, who is going to make the presentation.
Thank you. After the election, some of our group, actually Tim Better's here, they were trying to get the data in terms of who voted. And the Secretary of State was not releasing the information. So Tim contacted the various clerks to ask for that information. And we kept track of who responded, when they responded. Some denied, some said it would be an exorbitant amount of money. And there were really, of the 18 counties, 22%, which was just a handful. Pardon?
83 counties.
83, yes, sorry. 22% responded positively within 5 days. And Elizabeth Hunley was one of those. We're very grateful. So we have Michigan Fair Elections as, it's called the Sunlight Award, because the Supreme Court Justice said that sunlight is the best disinfectant. And we appreciate your honoring average citizens so that they can see what into government and what is happening. So we appreciate you very much, and it's my pleasure to award you the Sunlight Award. Thank you.
It truly is an honor to be the first to receive this award. I have to thank my staff. I've got a great elections division, and our staff really helps the elected official. But the policy starts at the top, and my policy is transparency, and I have worked on that since taking office. You can either talk with action or you can talk with words, and I choose to talk with action. I have made transparency a top priority. We made campaign finance available to, the campaign finance records are available online. You no longer have to visit our records. This data belongs to the people, and it truly is an honor to receive this award, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, so shout out to Elizabeth Hunley, Patrice Johnson, Tim Better, all the warriors on the front lines relating to election integrity here in Michigan. We got Gretchen Whitmer. Oh, we got Daniel Nassau and Jocelyn Benson. They like a trifecta that prevent our elections from being secure. I love you, sir. All right, bear with me. I got my son and my granddaughter. They love their grandpa / daddy. Yeah, daddy doing his work right now. But yeah, bear with me. It's a lot going on. We got jumping around off of X. Got a lot more posts I could go through on there, but Mike, that bother you? Here we go with an article from Michigan's Watchdog. Michigan pushing for 600 or 760 million for pre-K expansion, while our K through 12 performance decline. Here's son, daddy busy right now. Studies cast doubt on impact of early education. So here's Gretchen Whitmer and them trying to throw more money at our education system when it's been proven that the money that they invest in isn't helping. Most of it probably isn't even getting to the children or the teachers. So we continue to make the problem worse and do things that's proven not to make it better. I encourage y'all to check out this article if y'all want to dig deeper. It goes on to say Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist recently issued a statement to celebrate the goal of expanding no-fee pre-kindergarten. But studies have failed to turn up evidence that early education programs produce better results for students. And they like to say no-fee pre-K, but that 760 million is our taxpayer money. This is about investing in our kids' futures, and we will continue collaborating with all partners to make sure every Michigan family has access to high-quality early education, no matter where they live, Gilchrist said in a press release. Let's continue to invest more money, even though it's not working. They say out of, not right now, out of 50 states, we rank 44th in education. Y'all gotta bear with me. I got my kids get jealous. If I'm holding my granddaughter, my son wanna be held. And if I'm holding my son, my granddaughter like, Grandpa, pick me up. It's so beautiful. This is why we fight. You know what I'm saying? This is why we fight. So yeah, I encourage y'all to look more into that article or just follow Michigan.com. They constantly putting out important information regarding Michigan. What we got over here, an article from Us Against Media discussing the Michigan Economic Development Corporation. This article put out by John Clore today, this morning, up early working. Shout out to John Clore and Rachel and all the warriors on the front lines across Michigan. The headline says, Rubber Stamp or Rigorous Review, How Michigan Picks Grant Recipients. When I first started digging into how Michigan awards its multi-million-dollar economic grants, I was definitely looking for corruption. And the deeper I went, the more the red flags started stacking up. Yesterday, we revealed that dozens of companies receiving grants from the Michigan Strategic Fund also happen to donate to the same politicians responsible for approving or overseeing those funds. Coincidence? Maybe, but it doesn't feel like one. Now I wanted to pull back the curtain on how these companies get selected in the first place, and more importantly, who makes the decision. What I found was a system that operates with all the hallmarks of legitimate process with committees, scoring rubrics, performance contracts, but very little transparency and almost zero public accountability. They just be doing whatever they want, and it's really like a pay to play type of scheme where you donate and lobby, and then they pass these grants and get kickbacks. And like we got zero transparency here in Michigan. The governor's office and the legislators don't have to answer the FOIA, so they don't face the scrutiny from the citizens that they should normally face. They don't have to worry about us seeing what they're doing, and we need to change that. We definitely need to change that. And speaking of how to change that, John Clore from Us Against Media even tried to initiate a citizens petition uh, amending the Constitution to include the legislature and the governor's office in the FOIA Act. They did what's called a citizens initiative, and like I said, we was going to talk about that. What is a citizens initiative? Citizens of Michigan may initiate legislation as either an indirect initiated state statute or a directly initiated constitutional amendment. This is exactly what Carla Wagner is doing, and this is what John Clore tried to do with Us Against Media. You get the language wrote for a petition, you gather sufficient signatures, you get enough, the measure or the petition can be placed on the next general election ballot. So that's why it's important to help Carla Wagner right now get signatures, be volunteers, because she needs to get enough signatures to have it on the 2026 ballot. Okay, I'll help you when I'm done with this, okay? Just wait a second. Residents also have the power to repeal legislation via veto referendum. I didn't know about that, but we're gonna look into that in the future, but that's important too. So michiganinitiatives.org, you could check this out and learn more about citizens initiatives. This is they had the progress of their initiative documented. They completed the proposed amendment draft. The petition was approved at the Bureau of Elections. It was reviewed and approved by the Board of State Canvassers, but they failed to get the signatures needed and the support. And okay, yeah, this is what their actual petition, uh, the language said, but this is what a petition looks like. And this right here is what the wording, you get 100 words or less to describe what you're trying to do. Theirs was simple and straightforward. An initiation of legislation to amend the Freedom of Information Act. The initiated law would expand the act to hold the executive and legislative branches subject to public information requests. That's all they was trying to do, expand the current law to include the governor and the legislature. So they was trying to do their part. They failed to get all the signatures. You go to the board of the Department of State, you can see the current petitions in play. Here is Ask My Tech petition. For those of y'all who haven't seen it, Carla been doing a lot of hard work getting this petition worded properly. And it's out there if y'all want to see it. Shout out to Carla Wagner. Shout out to all the warriors on the front line. Citizens for Local Choice petition. That's an important one too. We the people hold the power. I'm gonna try to make this video brief today because I got my youngins, my littles, and it's just so much to talk about. Another important thing to discuss: the plan to save Campbell power plant over in Ottawa County. A lot of people are not familiar with this, but it's a lot of people who've been fighting on the front lines. And this website, SaveCampbell.com, you can go here and see they've been fighting for well over a year to save this plant. It's a highly efficient coal-operated power plant in Ottawa County. It provides more than enough electricity for the county. And due to Biden and Whitmer's green energy agenda, they're trying to shut down this plant. This is the last coal operating plant in Michigan. It's highly efficient, and it follows the clean energy guidelines that they've placed upon them, but they still getting shut down. They set to get shut down in May of this year. It's a lot of people fighting against the shutdown. Right here it says the J.H. Campbell plant is the largest coal plant consumers energy runs in Michigan and provides power to a million customers and hundreds of jobs to others. Looking over this data is mind-blowing. It's so crystal clear, anybody can understand it. Here is the electrical energy picture of Ottawa County. Total consumption of energy currently is just under 3 million megawatts. The plant produces just under 11 million megawatts. The production, megawatts from renewable energy, 4,000. So the production from non-renewable energy, again, just under 11 million. They trying to shut this power plant down and have us reliant on, and have us just relying on renewable energy, which as you can see only produce 4,000 megawatts. And in another article, they talking about producing another 8,000 megawatts by 2040. Clearly, the county won't be able to sustain off of just 4,000 or even 12,000 megawatts. This will put the people of Ottawa County, their electrical and energy security at risk. And we already experience power outages regularly. Y'all gonna get a spanking. So I encourage y'all to go check out this website and learn more about this extremely important issue. A lot of people depend on this plant. It provides a big tax break to the county. And it's being shut down for this clean energy bullcrap. They're trying to shut it down. So we can't have that. Marty, go up there and look. Have to work right quick. Okay, I don't know if any of y'all have heard of frost laws. I haven't until recently. This is pretty important. It's especially for truck drivers. If you are a truck driver, you're probably familiar, but many people aren't. And this is important. I just want y'all to watch this video.
And here we go. This is the frost law here in Huron Township, Michigan. And as you can see, they could not wait to get out here and start issuing citations to trucks. Huron Township has a long history of abusing frost law enforcement. And what they do is they just send a bunch of officers out here and they target trucks on these roads. In 2022, they took in over $1 million in citations in less than a 1 month period. On the roadway, on Interstate 275, this township of 15,000 people actually issued over 15,000 citations just on the interstate. This is a police department that exists to generate revenue. That's all they do. That's all they ever do. And it should be stopped. But at least while this frost law season is going on, they're going to be destroying truck drivers and writing mega $1,000 citations. And they have no conscience about it. I'm pretty sure that Corrigan oil truck there is going to receive a citation that's probably upwards of $5,000 or $6,000 if he's loaded. But this is what they do. Not a real police department. And here we go, everybody. This is...
Now that's just crazy. Just crazy. It speaks for itself. There's a couple other videos. I didn't know nothing about it. Here's another one. Pardon the language in this one, but I understand why people ticked off.
Hello, everyone. Pontificator here. So today I had a very short conversation with one of the Huron cops. You know, I guess cops are cops. So I'm sitting there. I'm not in their way. Truck pulls up, pulls all the way in. He pulls up, parked next to me, and he gets out. He doesn't have to say shit to me. You need to move. And I go, well, you didn't notice I'm actually already moving. And I decided to drop it because I don't... Hello, everyone. Pontificate. I guess cops are cops. So I'm sitting there. I'm not in their way. Truck pulls up, pulls all the way in. He pulls up, parked next to me, and he gets out. He doesn't have to say shit to me.
Sorry.
You need to move. And I go, well, you didn't notice I'm actually already moving. And I decided to drop it because I don't believe in arguing with the cops and just being an ass to them. They do have a job to do. So anyway, I said, hey, can I ask you a question, officer? Sure. I said, why are you guys doing this? Why are we doing what? I said, you guys are literally, look out, you got 6 squad cars out here. You got 2 trucks. I said, you guys have devoted your police department to this. Why? He goes, we have to protect the road. I go, knock that off. In all seriousness, knock that off. You didn't build the road. I said, Huron Township, your public office is on a dirt road. You can't even afford to build a driveway. So Wayne County pays for these roads. We pay for these roads. Wayne County has never asked you to protect them. I know this because I filed a FOIA request 4 years ago, 3 years ago, and 2 years ago. They've never said, hey, Huron Township, will you do us a favor and cover these roads? I said, so why are you doing it? What's the real reason? He goes, I'm just doing my job, man. Just doing my job. And I went, you know what? Whatever. Thank you very much and have a good day. So, and anyway, guys, carriersunited.com. I know this sounds like a stretch, but these citations are $4, $5, $6, $7, $8,000, okay? And I can prove it to you. I know 4 people that have received them this year, and the highest one was $6,000. These are individual truck drivers that have to pay this shit. Companies don't pay these. Most of the time they don't. So this is a lot of money coming out of the pockets of a truck driver. So Carriers United, once we kick off, this is just one of the items we're going to fix, not take on. We're going to fix it. Every single road in this state could be a frostball road. So then what's the point? In any case, carriersunited.com, guys, just sharing this information with you on this conversation that I had with this cop giving this canned bullshit excuse that even he doesn't understand. We're protecting the roads. Yeah.
So yeah, I was unfamiliar with frost laws. There's a lot of information and videos out there. I play with it's tons. You can look them up on TikTok or look them up. If you're looking for it, you'll find it. But I feel bad for the truckers who have to deal with this, and then it seems like it's part of a money-making operation where we, the taxpayers, we, the people, face the brunt of it. We, the ones getting fined and taxed and having to deal with this. Protect the roads. The roads need fixing first. How's we protecting potholes and destructive, damaged roads? Anyway, I'm gonna have to cut this one short today. I have a few more things I wanted to discuss, but with my children up and at them, they know when Dad trying to be productive, and they like time for us to do what we gotta do. Prevent him from being productive. No. But hey, this is part of being a young patriot, young parent. We have our families come first, and they the reason why we fight so hard. So y'all can check out my website if y'all haven't been there yet. Logicsview.com. Jump over there right quick, because even on the days that I don't make videos or put out content, there's tons of other warriors in Michigan. There's tons of other warriors in Michigan on the front lines. So if you go to my website, logicview.com, you can see a lot of them. We got Pat Colbeck, #1 medaling kid in Michigan, next to Bob Cushman. Oh my goodness, man, they both some warriors. We got Carla Wagner up in here, you know what I'm saying? Carla Wagner, Dave Bondi, Justin Barclay. We got Great Lake Patriots, Andrea Pascal and others. Michigan for Vaccine Choice, Maya Hahn and all the mama bears out there. Liberty Leaders United, Alicia and them, Micah. I'm telling you, trying to put all type of good resources in one spot. We got Michigan Muckraker, an amazing podcaster and researcher. Patriot approved out here, us in this Media Week County. And that's just on the first page. We got more down here. What we got? Oh. Anyway, check it out. Explore. It's a lot to explore. Um, Learn about me, why, what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. These are more resources. Bonnie, check my vote. You know, if y'all want to see the counties across Michigan, list, precinct first. I'm telling you. God bless y'all. Thank y'all for tuning back in once again for another episode of Logic Review. Hopefully the youngins wasn't making too much noise, but I just want to remind y'all, like my pastor used to say when we was kids, he used to tell the young parents who brought their babies to church, he'd say, if your baby crying, he said, if your baby crying, it don't bother me one bit. Don't think it's a burden. He said, it's actually music to my ears because you showing dedication, bringing your child, even though it adds an extra hassle to going somewhere. You showing that you serious. The child get to hear the word of God, even though they don't understand it. They hearing it in the presence of others. So he always loved when he heard kids crying in the congregation. He just made sure to speak louder and get that truth across. Same here, man. Our children is why we fight. If it's a nuisance, if it bothers you that much that my kids is in the background playing, well, go listen to another podcast. Because the children are our future. The children are why we fight. When you're a young patriot, young warrior, you got your children at home. They all in the mix as part of the process, as part of being a warrior, part of being a parent. Anyway, man, there's so much going on, you know. Stay informed, stay engaged, and stay involved. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Logic Review. Please like, share, drop comments, and even prayer requests down below. And also subscribe so you can stay notified each and every time our weekly content is uploaded. Love y'all. Thank y'all. God bless y'all.